Well, this week we've covered a lot of ground on the topic of fear. We've talked about what it is, how it affects us, and what God has to say about it. Well, today I want to give you three tools, practical, concrete tools that you can use the next time fear shows up and tries to take over the show. So, the first tool, process focus. When fear shows up, it almost always pulls your attention toward outcomes, right? What if I miss? What will people think? What does this mean about me? Well, all of that is future outcome focus. And that is where fear lives. So, process focus is the solution. It means deliberately redirecting your attention to what you can control right now in this very moment. So, we're talking your routine, your verbal cue, a power statement, your breath. Now, we've talked about the WIN strategy, WIN, what's important now. Well, that is process focus in 3 words. So when fear tries to pull you into the imagined future, thinking when brings you back to the present. And remember, the present moment is always safe. Fear cannot survive in it. So before your next run, pick one process cue to focus on, just one. Something specific and physical that belongs entirely to the present moment, and let that be your anchor. Okay, tool 2, do one thing that scares you every day. This is also something we've talked about before, and it comes from the research on fear tolerance. And here's the principle. Fear shrinks when you walk toward it. It grows when you walk away from it. So every time you avoid something that scares you, you send your brain a message. This is dangerous. Avoid at all costs. And then your brain files that away and makes the fear a little stronger next time. But every time you do this scary thing anyway, even if it's something small, it might seem insignificant, you send a completely different message. You can handle this. You've done hard things before. You are someone who acts in spite of fear. And this doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be making the phone call you've been putting off, entering the event you've been talking yourself out of, saying yes to something before you feel 100% ready. So the size of the action matters less than the consistency of. Now, I've been trying to live by Eleanor Roosevelt's advice. Do one thing every day that scares you. And then tool 3, the ACT strategy applied to fear. So if you've been with me since way back in week 2, we've talked about the ACT strategy, ACT, acknowledge, check, and trade. We've used it for our ants, automatic negative thoughts, and those include fearful thoughts. So here's how we apply it to fear. When it shows up, we first acknowledge it. This doesn't mean we fight or suppress or pretend it's not there. You can even name it out loud if you need to. I'm feeling fear right now. That simple act of naming it takes away some of its power. Then check it. Ask yourself, is this fear based on something real and present? Or is it a fantasized experience appearing real? Is this actually happening right now? Or is my brain projecting a disaster movie about the future? Most of the time, you're going to find that it's the latter. and then trade it. Replace the fear with something grounded and true, a power statement, a memory of a time you came through, a process cue that brings you back to right now. And hey, if you want to go even deeper on tools like these, I'm going to invite you to join what I call the Mental Game 101 Inner Circle. That's where I send my weekly email with deeper dives, free resources, and tools that go beyond what we cover here on the podcast. This week, I'm sending Inner Circle members a free one-pager that they can print out. It's called 10 Ways to Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So 10 concrete strategies to pull out the next time fear shows up. So I'll put the link to sign up in the show notes. It'll just take you a few seconds and it's completely free. Now here's what I want you to do. So all three of these tools, notice that none of them ask you to eliminate fear. None of them require you to feel confident before you act. They all work with fear as a given. They just give you something to do with it instead of letting it make the decisions. Because that's really the whole point, not to become fearless, but to become someone who acts anyway.